Hi friends, today we are going to solve Candies problem from the dynamic subsection of the interview preparation kit. The given problem statement says that Alice is a kindergarten teacher. She wants to give some candies to the children in her class. All the children sit in a line and each of them has a rating score according to his or her performance in the class. Alice wants to give at least one candy to each child. If two children sit next to each other, then the one with the higher rating must get more candies. Alice wants to minimize the total number of candies she must buy. So this problem statement is a dynamic problem, we could say, but not okay. So to this problem, we will be solving this using a tabulation method. So in dynamic problem, there are two ways of solving it. One would be by forming a recursive method where you will be using a memoization technique to store the each values of each iteration, and the other would be to form a table and to store the values out there. So for this case, you'd be using a tabulation method. So let's first create the table, and we will be initializing our table with a value of 0 multiplied by the number of students that are present in the class. And for the first candies, we will be initializing a value of 1 because she wants to give at least one candies to each child. Now we will create a for loop from left to the right of the array of uh, left of the right of the array where each score or rating of the students are given. So for I in range 1 to n. The reason for doing it from 1 because for the first candies we have already initialized a value of 1 and that is the minimum. So we'll be tracking a condition. So if array of if array of I means the student sitting next to the first child or the 0th index child is greater, means the rating of the student is greater than the student sitting on the ith minus 1 index, then it is supposed that the student at the arith I index should get more candies. So to do that, we could write candies of I equal to candies of I minus 1 plus 1. So this time we are doing it from the left to right. So here any students with a higher rating would get more candies. Similarly, we will have to do the same step from right to the left. So for this case, for I in range n minus 2 minus 1 minus 1, this step is minus 1 because we will be decrementing values each step. So for array of so in this step we are checking whether the child, for example, let's take an example of 4645662. So when you're doing it from the left to right, from right to left, then we could easily say that the when ith value is when ith value is 4, then we could easily say the rating of the array 4 in at index 4 is greater than the rating at index 5 or array I plus 1. Then we will check in Candies whether the candies given to this 4th index child is more than the candies given to the index 5. Okay, and if it's smaller, if the candies given to this child or the child who got a rating of 6 at the index 4, then we'd be basically doing the same step. So we'd be giving this child one more candies that the child at index 5 got. Now let's run the code. Okay, so now we have made or written the candies is child get, but the return statement should be the total number of candies that should be given to each child or minimum number of candies that the kindergarten teacher must buy. So it would be the sum of all the candies the children are getting. Okay, so here I forgot to write one more else statement. So the else statement is that suppose the child sitting next to the guy with a higher rating. Um, Suppose there could be a situation when the child sitting next to the guy does not have a higher rating than him. So in that case, we would be simply giving him one candy. So this is also something you need to take care of. As you could see, it passed the test cases. Let's submit the code. As you can see, it passed all the test cases. So this problem of the dynamic problem was much more on the easier side. Basically, here we have to just write two for loops, and the complexity of the problem was big O of n. So, or big O of 2n to be exact. But this problem was much more on the easier side. So to understand dynamic problems, so from where I learned it was from a course from YouTube course from FreeCodeCamp. So maybe if you want to learn more about dynamic programming, you could go and check out that tutorial. I will also give a link to the description for that. And apart from it, thanks for watching. And please don't forget to share your feedbacks or send me any code which would be better than this one in times of complexity or simplicity. That would be really, really helpful. And thanks for watching and stay tuned.